the other products, but if you want, you can have a smaller tweezer, easier to pick up the product too, and place them on. It's just a preference of what works for you. And I just place them all around the nail bed. Like I said, you can order the crystal on my website. On the website, they only come in clear. Right now, I'm using a color crystal just to make it more Christmassy. If you would like to have color, you can always email the company and let them know that you would like to do a color instead of the clear. So I'm just adding some more of the glue around the part that I didn't put on the nail bed yet. Just adding some glue to that part. Got one stuck on there. So now I'm just going back through and adding more crystal to the nail. And you just repeat this until the whole nail is done. Like I said, I wouldn't tell you to put glue all over the nail yet until you actually have finished doing it in sections, because you don't want the nail glue to dry on you. You can use nail glue, crazy glue, which, you know, like I said, whichever works best for you. I like this particular brand and this one because it has the brush. Once again, going back through with the brush makes it so much easier, not so messy. As you see, I finished placing it on that finger. I allowed all the crystal on. Now I will finish placing the gems on. As I take the corners, like I said, remember, take the top corner. Makes it so much easier in your life if you take the top corner, because that's the part, even if you have to touch it, that's the part that will be filed off if you accidentally touch it, and that's the part makes it so much easier to place on. Once again, place it in front of your heater. Allow the heat to melt the sticky part. As I said, you can use a dryer or whatever you have. This is what I use, and is the jamberry heater, and I'm just placing it in front of it. As you see, the product is curling up as it heats up, and that's what I want it to do before placing it on my nails. I want to get it nice and warm, and then I just sit it down as close as I can to the bed of my nail. I just place it on as close as I can to my nail. Now, like I said, you want to make sure you don't get it on the cuticle. You want to get it as close to the cuticle as possible without touching any skin. That's why you want to make sure you have a good manicure when you're doing it. So now I done placed it on the nail, so now it's time to rub. And remember, like I said, if you rubbing and tugging, like I have a lot of extra, so I'm touching that in, because that's the part that's not going to be on any of the nail. So as I'm rubbing, I'm making sure I don't get any bubbles. We don't want any bubbles. We don't like bubbles in the jams, okay? So now over here, I'm going to just tug on it a little more. Pull it on over there. Rub it on in there. Get a nice little tug. We want it nice and smooth. We don't want any bubbles. Bubbles on our friends when we're doing jam nails, okay? So we're just going to keep tugging. Just like to give it a nice tug and a pull over the nail bed. Look how smooth that is. Smooth and shiny. It's so shiny you probably can't even see it. because it is chrome. I don't know, I don't think my lighting's very well. But we're working with what we have. So this is how it looks when it's nice and smoothed out. And that's the chrome. And like I said, when I do the videos, it takes me a little longer because I try to show you guys step by step without missing anything. Now, as you see on the front of my finger is extra. We got extra. You see it hanging over? So that's what I go in with my scissors. And I cut off all the extra that is not actually on the nail. After cutting it, I still want to make sure I smooth it down. There's nothing wrong with using a little heat. Grab your file. You can grab your end of your tweezers, heat up the stick a little bit, and just rub it and just seal everything down as you push on it. Now, like I said, right here at my tip, I'm gonna go in with my file. Cut off majority of all the excess. I'm gonna go in with my jamberry file, and I'm just gonna go at a 93-degree angle downward, getting all the excess that's still on there. Then I just grab the file and just pull it off. It's basically coming off anyway. You can pull it off with your hands, whichever. I just like to always use my file at the end because it gives it just a really nice clean look, if you could see. Really nice and clean. I don't know if you can see it. So those are those nails. This is the one that I put on with the crystal. I placed on one by one. Now I'm gonna go, I've already cut out my little pinky nail. So I'm gonna go on and place that. Like I said, you wanna make sure you grab it at the corner, because the corner is what will not be on the nail anyway. So you want to make sure you grab it there. Place it in front of the heater. As I said, watch how it bends. Once it starts bending, then you know it's ready to place on the nail. You want to get it nice and heated up. Now I'm going to place it on my nail. Get as close to the cuticle as I can. Now if you don't get as close as you can, it's okay to lift it and put it back on and correct it. Because you want to get it on as close as you can without touching any. So as I put it on, don't forget, rub and pull. We don't want any bubbles. No bubbles. Now I'm just tugging right at the tip because I know that's the part that's not going to be on my nails. So I'm rubbing, and I'm rubbing it to make sure there's no bubbles in it. And I just rub it all the way down to the end of the nail. So as I was tugging, I just tug on that part. Just make sure I get a nice, good seal. Because with me doing hair as a stylist, I don't want any room for water to enter. Because I want these to at least last me a week, even though it can go 2 or more, but I wash so much hair. I just like to change it out anyway, just for business sakes. I like to change it. And that's that one. Okay. So now I have a little excess. If you can see what I'm talking about when I say excess, the little tips coming up and all that, that's the excess. You can probably see because I try and roll it over the nail. That's excess. Now I go in with the file. If I don't have a whole lot, I would have cut off if I had a whole lot of extra. Go in with the file at a 98-degree angle, just for a clean look. Now look how clean that looks. I don't know if you can see it. Look how clean that looks. Nice and sharp. like I painted my nail or something. You can see it, okay? So now that's sealed on. And basically, this hand is done. I like to, at the end of the day, I like to go in with the oil. This is the oil that I use from Hicks Total Transformation. I just like to go in and just put on my cuticles, because anytime you give yourself a manicure or pedicure, you want to make sure you seal those cuticles up. And because there's no paint or anything, I can do my cuticles right after a nail polish. So this is it. This is the outcome of my nails, my gem nails. And like I said, you can also order the crystal on my website. And also, don't forget, you can order our t-shirts, No Foolishness, because we don't stand for any foolishness in our lives. Natita Jam Nails.